back to my channel. Today I have a monthly June message for all of the Pisces out in the collective. Please note this is going to be a general reading, so it is not going to resonate with every single Pisces out in the collective. I ask that you take with you what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you are new to my channel, welcome to Eileen into Spirit. My name is Eileen Rouse. I am a psychic intuitive, a spiritual coach, and a sound healing practitioner. So without further ado, Pisces, let's go ahead and dive into your June message. So Pisces, we are starting out with the Altar Priestess, Cycles and Rhythms, and a Higher Power. So Pisces, we're going to start off with the heart of your reading, which is about cycles and rhythms. So this is about learning to honor the cycles in your life. Now, this could be the cycles of your body, your energy levels, emotions. It's just cycles and rhythms all throughout. So it's going to be important for you to honor that, to truly be aware of where those cycles and rhythms are. I do feel that the reason they're wanting you to focus on the cycles and the rhythms is because there's going to be some changes coming into your life that I feel that once you are a little bit more aware of how cycles and rhythms flow in your life and even in your body when it comes to maybe your emotions, you will be better prepared. The Altar Priestess talks about preparation, talks about prayer and sacred ritual. It's about learning to understand the rhythms, the flows, the waves of how things flow in your life and how they flow out of your life. A higher power is basically that. It's connecting to that higher aspect of yourself. When I look at this Altar Priestess, I automatically think of the High Priestess in the Tarot card, because the High Priestess is all about learning to see beyond, right? And it's about utilizing our intuition and connecting to the spiritual aspect of ourselves. And I do feel that this month you're going to come into a little bit more awareness, maybe conscious awareness of how your body, how the energy that you associate yourself with truly affects your body. Even your emotions, how your emotions tend to flux on highs and lows. And it's about truly understanding how energy works and how it truly hinders you or how it assists you. So let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into the tarot to see what additional information Spirit has for you here. So we are starting off with the Five of Pentacles, which is a test of our resources, and the Queen of Swords. So one thing I love about this Five of Pentacles, when you really look at the picture, it really talks a lot about our sense of being disappointed or being forgotten or abandoned, right? Sort of being left out in the cold. And a lot of times this card can be associated with being in a state of victimhood or being the martyr in any type of situation. This Queen of Swords is basically stating that you need to cut out that negative emotion that you have that's associated with what goes on, right? The one thing with this Five of Pentacles is that you can see in this card that the key to her salvation or to this door is right there. It is right behind her. She simply needs to look up from where she's looking. So she's only looking down, which means that she's not aware of her surroundings. She's not aware of what's around her. And if she merely looked up and looked elsewhere than where she is looking, she'll be able to see that she can get through that door quite easily. It's no different with the cycles and the rhythms that occur in the energy around you here, Pisces. This Queen of Swords is this energy where she utilizes her intellect, her intuition to make choices. She doesn't allow her emotions to get in the way of making those decisions. And a Queen of Swords makes very decisive decisions. It's almost as if the Queen of Swords cuts out all of the bullshit in her life and just charges full steam ahead into the actions that she ultimately needs to make for the betterment of herself and in her life, for the things that she ultimately wants. So I feel that with this Queen of Swords, it's going to be important that you be very determined in your actions of what you're ultimately wanting to do and what you're wanting to accomplish. Again, with this Five of Pentacles, don't fall into this state of victimhood, right? Because it's not really going to help you in any way here, Pisces. We now have the Knight of Swords here with the Temperance card. So this Knight of Swords is rushing towards the things that are going to align him with this higher power, okay? The Temperance card is really about moderation and patience. I think when you are not familiar with how the energy flows within you and outside of you, it's really difficult for you to know when you're truly connected and when you're not. This moderation is about finding the balance in temperance, and it's about transitioning as each flow or each cycle moves, right? So it's important for you to recognize that. We now have the Ace of Cups here with the Seven of Swords. Okay, Pisces. I want to point out here that when it comes to the cycles in your life, it's really about you choosing the path that is most aligned with that of a higher power. And in this particular aspect, it's about aligning your heart's desire, your intuitiveness, what you truly want to have, what your true intention is with that of your higher self. The Seven of Swords really speaks about the deception that we often face in a day-to-day. But again, the deception that we often face can be self-inflicted, right? We could try to tell ourselves that we're not, the cause of why we feel the way that we feel. But feeling the way that we feel is our choice. We choose to stay in this sense of martyrhood. So I find it interesting that you start out with the Five of Pentacles and you end with the Seven of Swords here, which truly tells me that when you are in a cycle of despair, how you can get out of it is by aligning with your truest intention, right? And that often means that you have to be willing to say to yourself, I can't do this alone, right? Sometimes it means you have to ask for some help from a higher power, right? This is the reason why you have the altar priestess here, because it's really about setting aside time for yourself, a sacred space, creating a specific ritual that helps you connect to this higher power, that can help you shift out of this sense of despair or sorrow that you feel that you're all alone in whatever cycle you're in, when in reality, you're not. It's merely just, an illusion at this point, because you're afraid that, you're not going to get out of the situation that you're in, but the truth is you can. So you now have the Five of Swords here with the Hermit card. Okay. The Five of Swords really speaks about, winning at all cost. It really speaks about learning to extend a sense of, I don't want to say camaraderie, but it's almost like extending an olive branch, right? Like trying to see all sides of every situation. I find it interesting that you have both the Five of Pentacles with the Five of Swords here, because again, this little girl is looking down. She's not looking anywhere else. So she's only seeing things from one point of view. The Five of Swords is wanting you to sort of see things from a multiple point of perspective. It wants you to see things from different points of view so that you could truly see that there are options being presented to you. There are ways out of the situation that you're in, and you're needing to really evaluate where you need to provide yourself with some healing or some love or some care deep within yourself. The Hermit card is about the introspection, going on a journey deep within ourselves to truly understand ourselves at a deeper level. And we all have that sense of, where we feel we've lost a sense of our identity and we're just trying to find ourselves. But the only way that you can do that is you have to be willing to look up from the situation that you're in. You have to be willing to be observant to other things around you other than the situation that you're in. We now have the Page of Cups here with the King of Wands. So what this truly represents is that the Page of Cups truly presents you with an opportunity to envision a different life for yourself or a different outcome. But it's really going to be about allowing yourself to have that, being willing to connect to that emotionally. All pages provide you with a message. The Cups is really about connecting you to your emotional side. You have a Knight of Swords here that actually takes action towards, connecting you with that emotional aspect of yourself, that higher aspect of yourself that understands the rhythms and cycles in your life. This King of Wands here is a confident energy that ultimately is inspired to want to take charge, literally move towards the things that he is passionate about. And in this particular aspect, when you have temperance is all about patience and moderation and sort of moving towards our own path, our own light, our own, sense of self. With this King of Wands here, this King of Wands is ultimately wanting you to be a little bit more aware of how you can be successful. Because this king knows that he will ultimately be successful no matter what he does. And in this particular aspect, this King of Wands just wants you to be yourself. It wants you to be free, to be who you are, and truly align yourself with that, because that is ultimately what aligns you to the higher power and what connects you to your inner cycles. Okay. We now have the Seven of Cups, and we are ending here with the Justice card. So Pisces, I feel that when it comes to your emotions, you sometimes, because Pisces, you are a water sign, I feel that a lot of times you get very muddled and confused on what choice to make. Sometimes you can be very indecisive. I feel this is the reason why you got the Queen of Swords, because the Queen of Swords is very incisive. She does not play. She makes quick, swift decisions. And I feel that sometimes when you get a little overwhelmed with having to make a specific choice and not being so sure of yourself and not having the confidence and only seeing things from one point of view, it can get very confusing and daunting to be able to make a choice that aligns you with who you are. But I want to point out here that the important thing for you here, Pisces, is that it's about really truly connecting to yourself, not seeing yourself through the eyes of other people, but truly connecting to yourself, having a real good sense and understanding of who you are and what you want and what you desire, and understanding that every choice that you make has an action towards it. And whatever action that you make, there is a reaction, right? So everything has a cause and an effect. And so When you only see things from one point of view, or when you continue to stay in the cycle that you are in, you're never going to see the change that you ultimately want unless you make a different choice. The Justice card here really speaks about fairness, and it speaks about balance and everything working itself out in the end. And even though you might not know what the consequence will be from your action or from your choice, you know that as long as your intention was pure and it came from a loving place, then there isn't anything that you need to ultimately worry about here, Pisces. So this is your message, Pisces. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys.